It skips, the needle fall. I start one at the wrong speed, you know. Big deal. I had jobs where mistakes were a lot more crucial. I remember when I used to be a pilot. You know, you make a mistake there. You got a piece of equipment that doesn't work when your tuchus is 30,000 feet off the ground. You got problems. I mean, it ain't a record skipping. It ain't a wrong speed. I mean, when you got problems at 30,000, those are problemissimos. And I'll never forget, I was pulling into Pittsburgh one time, and I was making a routine approach to the Pittsburgh airport when I went to hit the gear down, and I was getting a gear still up position. I hit the button, and it was like one of the gear were down, but the other gear was still stuck in the well. And I said, my God, I can't tell. I can't see. I don't know. And sure enough, I flew by the tower, and they said, yep, you got one gear. I said, I got Valder. So I called in emergency control. I said, Pittsburgh Tower, this is Blauman Airlines 109. We have a problem. We request emergency landing procedures. And I couldn't believe my ears. I mean, I nearly took my headphones off in surprise when the voice came back from the tower and said,
your mama.
10-9 at Pittsburgh Tower, we request emergency landing.
Your mama.
Does that mean we do not have emergency clearance?
Right, I said your mama.
Maybe you don't understand the severity of the situation. We only have one landing gear operating.
Your mama.
And it appears that we'll have to go in on our bellies, Pittsburgh Tower.
Your mama.
Are you saying that there's no way we can get emergency clearance?
Right, I said your mama.
No, wait a minute. Now, we have procedures for this. When a plane is disabled, we get in first, for Christ.
Your mama.
Would you at least notify the fire department that we'll be coming in on our bellies?
Your mama.
Could you at least have an ambulance standing by so they can be...
Right, I said your mama.
For crying out loud, Pittsburgh Tower, what's going on down there?
Your mama.
I have 117 passengers on board this aircraft, sir.
I said your mama.
My God. I said, we're coming in. We're coming in.
Your mama.
All right, I told the crew, ready emergency procedures. And all the passengers bent down. They put their heads between their legs. The stewardesses were wonderful. Everybody was strapped in extra tight. My co-pilot was helping me. All right, I said, all right, we're going in our bellies. Here we go. Hey, wait, hang on. Oh, my God. I looked around, and thank God we were all alive. Well, the fire trucks did come up, and they squealed up alongside, and they hosed the thing down with foam. I was the last one to go down the emergency slide chutes. And as the passengers were being loaded on the bus took off. So I looked up at the guy behind the wheel of the fire truck. I said, hey, buddy, could you give me a ride back to the terminal? He just looked down at me and said disdainfully,
Your mama.
I looked at the co-pilot. I said, Harvey, I think this is going to be one of those days.
Let's rock.
Hi, buddy. 27 minutes after 7 with the grease. 4321101. I had to stop calling it the Megget line because it's turning into the Manly line. I've got a manly man on the line here. You a big man, bold man?
A big man.
Are you a big, bold, proud man?
Proud, bold, arrogant, cocky. Every piece of ground I put my feet on is mine. Walk down the streets, I even tell little old ladies to get away.
Yeah, buddy, you sound like a man.
But I'm tender.
You tender?
Sometimes I'm tender.
When it comes to women?
Right, when it's time for, you know what?
Habotwa.
Need I say any more?
Yeah, buddy. Buddy, well, tell me about yourself. How tall are you, buddy?
6'2.5".
How much you weigh?
198.
Oh, you're lean, mean, love-making machine.
I'm top heavy, big.
You big, buddy. That big upper body.
That pump.
You pump iron, buddy.
I feel like I'm gonna explode.
Yeah, and then you pump some more.
Pump some more. Harder, more weight, put more weight on the bar.
All right, buddy. You sound proud. Appreciate it. Have a nice day. Yeah, it just fires me up. You know, we're bringing back... it's good to be a real man. You know, we went through a time in our country where everybody was saying, you know, women were saying, I like a man that shows emotion. You know, I like a man that cries. Give me a break. I think we'd organize a real man convention. I can just see it now. Real men from around the United States converging on the nation's capital for the first annual Real Man Convention. I'll rent a bunch of suites at a hotel somewhere. And we'll have banquet halls. I can just see it when the taxi brings me up to the entranceway. Wheelbarrows as far as the eye can see lined up down Massachusetts Avenue. And I'll walk inside, and everybody in there will be huge, big men. And in order to be admitted to the convention, you don't have to pay a fee. You just have to stand there at the front desk and take off your shirt and hit a double bicep pose. And if you have enough cleavage in your pectoral muscles to be able to hold a tennis ball with no hands right between your massive pectorals, you'll be admitted in. The desk clerk will look at me as I stand there, ripped to the max. Say, you have no hair on your chest. I'll say, you can't grow hair. I'd steal. Now out of my way. And up to my room I'll go. There'll be no beds, no chairs, no nothing. Just a sparse room because real men sleep on the floor. And I'll have programs, that real men can attend. Little seminars. In the morning we'll start out with shaving with a chainsaw. In the afternoon, trimming your nose hair with a weed eater. In the afternoon, a discussion session, jogging after a vasectomy. Is it possible? And then in the evening, a special seminar on wheelbarrow maintenance. Men! Ah! The banquet will be easy. I'll just order 3 cases of tuna fish. And the men will just line up and eat it right out of the can. As they listen to us talking about what it's like to bear the burden of the overproduction of testosterone. Yeah, we'll all look at each other. We'll look at those grotesque pectorals, those cannonball delts, those washboard abs, those cephalic veins pumped like garden hoses. And then at the stroke of midnight, we'll break out the Wesson. Because, I don't know, I don't even have it. I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm just losing control. This macho thing is going completely out of whack. Let's just call an end to it right now, because frankly, I'm fed up. I'm fed up with it. It's getting to the point of ridiculousness. Everybody around the station's walking around saying, good morning, I feel manly. It's catching on. The world is a manly place. And we're proud to be a part of it. All right, that's it. Enough already with the manly here, huh? Gee. It's a little wacko. I'm almost afraid to pick up the maggot line at 432-1101. I've been getting some really off-the-wall phone calls this morning. I got a young lady on the line who is vying for an opportunity to join me under more intimate circumstances. I don't know, honey. You got to tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your name, for starters?
Would you believe I don't have a name? I was born without a name.
You were born without a name?
Yeah.
Well, what do they call you when they need you?
It's
She?
Yeah.
So if we ever got mad, I just have to say, hey, you!
Yeah.
You were born without a name? What happened, honey? Were you born in a home for the indigent and nobody put no name on your birth certificate? I mean, how do you get credit card? How do you order a pizza?
I was born supernaturally.
Oh, God. Operator, trace this call. We got a real fruitcake on the line here. Can you imagine that? Being born without a name, having no name? Geez, you couldn't order a pizza by telephone. You couldn't get no credit cards.
All in the name of she.
All in the name of she.
Yeah.
You're a bizarre woman.
Yeah, you're a bizarre man.
That's true. We're both bizarre people.
Yeah, and two bizarre people should mix up with each other.
You think so, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you hear a little squeak, 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 outside your bedroom door, it'll be me coming down the hallway with my wheelbarrow. Squeak, 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 squeak. He's getting closer. Squeak, 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 squeak. He's right outside. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Whoa! Here he is! Oh, no! Yeah, stand by. I think we may have to go to Quang Tree in about a minute. So all you lawmen, call in 10-6, because you don't want to be interrupted by anything so boring as a call while we're in the midst of Sgt Fury. At DC 101 with the Greaseman, feeling perky. It's Friday, big weekend up ahead. I got that thing lined up for me. Yes, she'll be handling all of my needs. I just couldn't be happier. Yeah, well, of course, there was a time in my life when I didn't think I'd ever see a smile on a pretty girl's face or another joyous weekend. There was a time in my life when I was glad just to live hour by hour, minute by minute, back when I was in Nam. Yeah, the name on the uniform said Greaseman, but everybody knew me as Sgt Fury. Quang high-lying tree, 1967. We were on the outskirts of town, marching back from a very complicated op. All my men were maintaining rigid form. I didn't care if we'd been out in the field for 6 months. When we marched back, we looked sharp. And all my men were shouting cadence as we marched. Hip, 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 T-3-4, Sgt Fury is his name. Hip, T-3-4, killing commies is his game. Hip, T-3-4, Ho Chi Minh won't act so big. Hip, T-3-4, when Fury makes them squeal like a pig, say sound off. 1, 2, Marines! Well, we were marching along the road, feeling full of ourselves, smoking camels, our guns slung casually across our back, when suddenly, coming in behind us low, over the trees, we didn't see him, it was an enemy MiG! I said, watch it, man, hit the deck! Mud splashed up all around us. We were right in the middle of a rice paddy. There was nowhere to go. For about a mile around us, it was just flat land. That guy could pick us off one by one. We were terrified as he moved lower and lower. With those bullets kicking up the paddies all around us, then I got an idea. When he came in again, I made a universally known obscene gesture at the pilot. He saw me and came for me. I ran away, led him away from my men. He came in, I prayed to God, and I pulled the pin on the grenade. And when he passed right over me, I threw the grenade as high in the air as I could. I watched that grenade circle upward, and finally, the grenade and the plane met simultaneously. And gasoline rained all around us. It was wonderful. The sky was red with a huge fireball as I stood there, victorious, yelling at the top of my lungs. The pilot bailed out. And after he egressed from the aircraft, we saw his chute open, and he started drifting lazily down toward us. But I got tired of waiting for him. I got tired of waiting for that stinking commie to drift lazily toward the ground. So I broke out the old M16 and I ventilated his parachute for him just to make him drop a wee bit quicker. Well, when he landed on the ground, I called up Wozniewski, who spoke that lingo. I said, Wozniewski, ask him the town he was headed for. We need to know his mission. Wozniewski said, hold on. The pilot said, I said, what'd he say, Wozniewski? Wozniewski said, sir, he said the equivalent of, yo mama. I said, oh, yeah? I said, ask him again. Wozniewski said, hold on. I said, what'd he say, Wozniewski? He said, that's right. I said, your mama. I said, all right, Wozniewski, let me handle this. Men, I don't want you to be implicated in this questioning. I want all of you to turn your backs. Turn your backs! I'm going to find out this guy's op if it's the last thing I do. And so my men obediently turned their backs. I said, Wozniewski, you tell him I'm looking for the town of his ops. He said, Roger, sir, he knows that. I said, all right, turn your back, Wozniewski. All of you, turn your backs! And so all my men turned their backs, and to this day, none of them can be really sure what I did. But I got that guy to talk. I got that stinking commie to talk, and everybody in the whole valley heard him yell, Quang Tree! That's right. The end of our bureaucratic Borhagari. Saturday and Sunday, we can clear our heads of the silly things we must endure throughout the week and just kick back, eat Twinkies, and stare mindlessly at the flashing boob tube. Or the T-shirts without sleeves, you know? Just a couple of straps across my massive pumped shoulders. My big old hairy armpits sticking out. Pieces of Slim Jim stuck between the cracks of my teeth. I'm a man. A big man, a bold man, a proud man. Friday night and my blues are fading. I feel excessively testosterone-laden. It's time for action, and I can't wait. The hairs on my chest are standing up straight. Hope my honey's doorway ain't too narrow. It's got to be able to accommodate my huge wheelbarrow. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. Can't help it, I'm a redneck. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. Can't help it, I'm a redneck. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. Can't help it, I'm a redneck. She'll be lying there all nervous and shy, but I will detect a little twinkle in her eye. She'll say, take me now, you masterful glutton. I'll say, baby, you mind if I put my gum in your belly button? And so begin the Greaseman frolics as she watches in awe of the manly hydraulics. Yeah! And her neighborhood will be filled with smiles as everybody knows what's happening. Her windows will almost buckle with the sound of my roar of delight. Yeah! A man, an axe in there. Of course, the neighbors will start complaining. They'll say, hey, from our ceiling, the plaster's raining. That man will be pounding at the door, saying, hey, the chandelier just fell on the floor. But all of a sudden, the floor gives way, and ouch, there we are lying naked on the man's couch. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. Can't help it, I'm a redneck. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. Can't help it, I'm a redneck. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. I can't help it, I'm a redneck. Well, falling through the floor was kind of neat. And all that while, I never missed a beat. The man said, hey, how disgusting can you get? I said, shut up, buddy. I ain't done yet. He said, you better leave. I'm getting irritable. I said, okay. Thanks for the use of your Castro convertible. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. Can't help it, I'm a redneck. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. Can't help it, I'm a redneck. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. Everybody can't help it, I'm a redneck. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. Can't help it, I'm a redneck. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. Can't help it, I'm a redneck. Oh, baby, I'm a redneck. I can't help it, I'm a redneck. Yeah! And my bumper sticker reads, I'd rather be killing communists. The Grease.
I must have partied way too hard last night, 'cause this morning when my eyes saw the light, it was bright, it was bright, it was bright. Oh, I must have had myself way too much brew. I should have stopped after I had to. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. But when I drink that golden brewski, yeah, buddy, and I see them girls shaking their ass, that's so yeah, it makes me want to get real hard into partying. So I drink until I pass out. Yes, last night I partied too hard, okay. But that don't mean we can't party today. What you say? What you say? What you say? The smack.
Summertime, 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 summertime. But although mostly sunny today with a high around 70. Yay! Partly cloudy tonight, still brisk with a bracing 35 degrees expected. And then tomorrow, sunny and a little cooler with a high in the low 60s. Right now we're looking at 43 at DC 101. I know you're tired, but what do you say we vamos, muchachos? Venga conmigo a la tierra. Tierra de la muerte. ¡Eh, pendejo, tu madre! ¡Coño! Let's go! Come on! Ah! Well, you know, the first time I went there was at a student program. Well, I was going to school out Amarillo way, and we went down to Mexico to learn about the various different cultures. Oh, it was kind of a fun trip, but by the same token, we learned about the imports and exports of the wonderful, beautiful country known as Mexico. And we went to the automobile factory. Oh, yeah. Mexico's a big producer of automobiles. And I went to the factory and looked inside. I said, yeah, they look like nice cars. They look rugged for these unpaved roads y'all have here. How come they have such small steering wheels, though? And the head man of the factory said, well, Senor Gringo, they have such small steering wheels because it makes them easier to drive with handcuffs on, huh? I said, yeah. I guess it makes sense. He said, but by far, Senor Gringo, the biggest export Mexico has is in the laxative field. We export approximately 3 million cases of our laxative every year. I said, I didn't know that. He said, oh, yeah, Senor Gringo, besides automobile and gasolina, we export laxatives, and you'll find it very effective. Well, Estelle always had a problem with regularity. I mean, you could stick a dynamite up there, for all the good it would do. I mean, that woman once every 6 months, if she was lucky, I said, oh, well, I'll try some. So I took a bottle of this back to her, and man, oh man, she drank it. About 5 minutes later, she was in the bathroom singing the praises of God in heaven. Saying, wow, man. When I went back there to buy a whole case of it, I said, hey, the guy wanted to give it to me. I said, no, I'll pay for it. He said, Gringo, we manufacture very cheaply. Take the case free of charge. I said, no, I want to pay you for it. He said, well, okay, $4. I said, $4 for a whole case? He said, yeah, this is how we make it. And he took a bottle and just ran it full of tap water. Open if you want to give it a shot. I know it's frustrating trying to get through. Let's harass this person here. Hello? Would you help me out a second here?
Yeah.
I need to ask you a question.
Okay.
Just picture this. Say that you're camping way back up in the woods.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody around, and you go to bed that night, and in the morning when you wake up, your sleeping bag's unzipped, your trousers are missing, your throat's sore from squealing like a pig, and there's chicken fat everywhere. Now tell me honestly, would you tell anybody about that?
Hell no.
You want to go camping? Ah! Something for all. What line is he on? Hey, Tom, I hate to break this to you, buddy.
What? Tell me.
But really, the whole world is not going to be overly thrilled that you're getting baptized.
No, I'm just see, what I'm trying to do, Uncle Greasy, is I'm trying to reach out and touch my brothers and my sisters and all my friends that are driving to work this morning.
Right.
Because they won't. I'm just trying to announce that to them so that they will call me and come to it, because I'm going to shock. My mom told me I'm no way in hell can I get my father to go to church.
Hey, that's nice talk. You're getting baptized.
Hey, listen, my mother told me there was no way in God's green earth that I could get my father to go to church. But I can bring the church to my father instead of my father to the church.
All right, you can take Salem out of the country, but you can't take the country out of Salem.
You're right, brother.
All right, well, good luck with your baptism.
But I'm telling you, just tell everybody to call Tom Caldwell.
Tom, they're not really... Look, Tom, why do they care? You're getting baptized. Look,
you,
you'll get baptized. Happy.
You got Wolfman Jack calling you and everything. Why can't I have them call?
That's Wolfman Jack. Let me tell you something, Tom. The world doesn't care that you're getting baptized.
The world does care.
The world doesn't care less.
If you will announce it, the world will care.
The world will say, so what? Tom Caldwell's getting baptized. So what?
What?
So what?
So what? They're my friends, brother.
All right, we're friends. I admit we're friends, but I don't care if you're getting baptized, if you're having a hemorrhoidectomy. Who cares about Tom Caldwell in this stinking world?
Hey, a lot of people do, brother. You wouldn't believe it if you didn't try it.
Oh, geez, buddy, Tom.
You'll never find out.
Look, enjoy your baptism, huh?
If you don't try it, you'll never find out.
Make sure you're wearing a wash and dry suit. Jeez, that man doesn't need a baptism, he needs a lobotomy. Prepare to hear two of your faves back to back. About 27 minutes after 7 with the Greaseman. I'm sorry I said that thing about them ugly women yesterday. I didn't mean to cause a whole stir. I think everybody misinterpreted my remarks yesterday. Yeah, we got a few complaints on it. I did a thing yesterday where I just said, I feel like having me an ugly woman today, Some days you just feel like having an ugly woman. They're so appreciative. And a few people call. I don't speak disrespectfully, for crying out loud. Let's be honest. In life, there is beauty and there is ugly. I mean, the rose is pretty and the cactus, by the same standards, is not as pretty. Now, what are you going to do? Is the cactus going to sue the rose? I mean, fact is fact. There is ugly women and there's good-looking women. And some days, I just feel like having me an ugly woman. An ugly woman. I mean, they're so easy to entertain. You can take them anywhere. Sometimes you take a beautiful woman to a restaurant. She says, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if it's done enough. I don't know if I like that salad dressing. You take an ugly woman out to eat. It don't matter where you take her. She says, yeah, bring on the food. Puts her face right in that salad. She eats it up. What kind of dressing you got there, honey? I don't know and I don't care. And she's chomping away. Is that steak done enough for you? Yep, chomp. She'd eat it with both hands, A pretty woman, sometimes you say, you want to go to the Bahamas? Or maybe Aruba? And she says, well, I don't know. It's, sort of hot there. Ugly woman, you can take her to Bayonne, New Jersey. As long as there's a bowling alley, she'd be happy. Every now and then, you got to find you an ugly ugly woman just to recharge your batteries, you know. And Haba the Gagan, you don't care whether you do good or do bad with an ugly woman. She's happy either way, you know. None of this, oh, I hope I'm not making funny faces. Do I have the proper stubble? Will I last? Will the hydraulics break down? You don't care. She ugly. She don't like it. She can get out. She an ugly woman. And sometimes they can be real. I remember me and my daddy used to go out hunting ugly women together. Every now and then we'd be in the living room. He'd say, boy, I think I gotta go to the doctor. You mind driving me? And he'd wink real big. I'd say, no, Pa, I don't mind. I'd wink back at him. We'd say, see you later, Ma. We'd head right to the bowling alley, find us a big ugly woman. I mean, a big one. We'd walk in there and cut one away from the pack. We were driving this old flatbed truck at the time. Pop said, I'll drive. And you get back there with her first. I said, that's all right, Pa. You can have her first. He said, no, son, I want you to have her first. That way she'll not only be ugly, she'll be nasty by the time I get her. I said, all right, Pa. So I climbed back in there. About 5 minutes later, I'm banging on the window. He leaned out the window and said, what's the matter, boy? You can't take it. I said, no, I can take it. Just get off this highway. Drive across that field there. I want to feel the sensation of this truck bouncing over some woodchuck rut. He said, all right. So he took off across the field. I'm back there, this big fat wolf. We're going over woodchuck holes. I said, Pop, get that wagon wheel rut over there. He drives the truck over the wagon wheel rut. I said, oh, Pop, there's them railroad tracks. Drive back and forth across that railroad track. Finally, I said, all right, Pop, your turn. Climb back on in there. So sure enough, he grabbed his 2x4 and climbed back on in there and drove across the train tracks, the woodchuck holes, the wagon wheel ruts. Afterwards, we both lit up camels, climbed back in the cab. I say, you stay back there, woman. You nasty. You stay in the back with the dog. So we got back to the bowling alley, looked back in there, she was gone. I said, Paul, we must have hit a big rut and bounced her behind out of there. I said, oh, no. So we drove back to the woods, but we were too late. By then, the buzzards was already gathering overhead. Apparently, the dogs got to her. What the dogs didn't get, the ants took care of. The buzzards were waiting their turn. We didn't want to report it, so we buried her. That was a long time ago. And I remember smiling as I read in the paper, on that very spot, they find some toxic levels that were supposedly unsafe for human consumption. So the EPA went out there and tested it. And I'm proud to say that me and my daddy are responsible for the government relocation of the whole town of Morgantown, Illinois. Yeah. And all because of an ugly woman.
It started with
Mexicali chatty. Well, you want to know the real reason? I'll tell you the real reason. I learned it deep in La Tierra de la Muerte. Because I love Mexican women. Enamorado. Soy enamorado. I just love them things. The dark skin, mi morenas, mi negritas. Ay, caramba. I just love them dark skinned women. And I went down there because I heard the hottest one in all of Mexico was down there. Her name was Chupeta, which means lollipop. And I had to find that thing, and I finally did. And there we were, in the midst of Habadu Gagale, when suddenly she turned to me and she said, you know something, gringo? I really like making the love with you. You are so much more tender than my boyfriend. I said, who's your boyfriend? She said, Juan Quirona de Vega. I said, Juan Quirona de Vega? The most notorious of all Mexican banditos is your boyfriend? She said, see. I said, I'm getting out of here. And I pulled out my jeans and my dingoes just as I heard, Chupeta, it is I, your boyfriend, Juan Quirona de Vega, coming to Habadu Gaga. I said, oh, geez. She said, quick, gringo la ventana, the window, out the window. So I climbed out the window, and I started tippy-toeing across the rooftops when suddenly someone in the street said, hey, look, there's a half-naked gringo on the roof. The Vegas saw me, but I leapt off the end of the roof right onto my horse. Ah! Oh, it was a little jarring, but I galloped off, and he was in hot pursuit. I said, my God, I gotta think of something. He's gonna run me down. This is his territory. So I slapped my horse on the tuchus, and it took off, and I ran into a church that was nearby. I said, sister, you gotta hide me. There's a man trying to kill me. She said, quick, my son, underneath my vestment. So I climbed underneath that sister's dress, and I just sat there. In burst Juan Quirona de Vega. He said, hey, sister, have you seen a gringo around here? She said, no, senora, no gringos. When suddenly the dust from the trail got in my nose, and I went, achoo! And he looked at the sister. He said, Gesundheit. She said, thank you. He scratched his head, and as he walked out the door, I heard him mumble to himself, I'm going to have to write the medical journals about that one, caramba.